Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is feedback for focal point, um, emphasis and focal point, module 3. So I am glad to see that people are using some of the digital options for this assignment. I'm not sure what happened to the PNG on this one. So Cameron, I like what you've done here with the colors, that you didn't, it wasn't just black and white, but you chose red on this one. So we also have, I also like to see we'll pull this up. I like to see the sketching done freehand on paper, to kind of what some of the ideas were. I think that's a valuable part of the whole design process, is that working through the ideas beforehand. So another good, like this here, let's we can pop this to, I think this will go full screen, yeah. So like that, this was done by hand here, and it's fun to see the creativity that goes into this assignment. So let's check out some of the preliminary work that was done. I like that we're sketching is great on this. I liked how you use the color in your sketching to try out different ideas. And then here we go with what you came up with at the end. Yeah, this is just great work. It's fun to see your process here. That's part of the whole design idea, is to, so we can see your process. Really like that. It's fun that you just stuck with the black and white there for your final. So I like this. That's the full color version. It's funny how to see that for isolation, you've all used, so far we've seen tents that if you're going camping, I guess that's one way to get isolated, is to camp. Now here for Cynthia's, what I like about this is to see the size here for the contrast. The chicken is much larger than the houses. Obviously we've got kind of a vanishing point going on here that pushes us out in the back. So this could just be a close-up of the chicken and the neighborhoods in the background, but I do like the contrast here between the large animal and the small houses. Placement here, I like how you've drawn the focus here to the lamp in the middle by subduing the designs on the outside and then bringing what looks like more light into that area where it's just you've just put the there in the lighter spot. Great work there. Let's check out the preliminary work. So once again, great that you're using some sketch ideas, working through that on paper beforehand before you come up with what is your final product. So great work on that. Here's another one, Adam. Great that you've got the different colors in there. looking for what tool you possibly use. Let's see. It's good to see that you're using the sketching method, which I think is important on this to see. On the contrast here, maybe not as much contrast as there could be. We'd like to see either really light, really dark, or two different colors, something like this. I do like the isolation and you've really drawn attention to this through the use of color here. And then placement, once again, our focal point goes here to the dog. I may have been fun to just push this over to one side or the other. Getting the golden section in there. We'll talk about that later in the semester. Logan, I'm glad you show here your final project and that you've used Illustrator. I think that's kind of an extra fun technique here that you've just taken a screenshot, but I like it. So I'm glad to see, and you can all see through this use of Illustrator here, and you could do the same thing if you were using Figma, but that you can push, that it's easier to make copies and tweak things here in Illustrator. So once again, students at Slick have access to the Creative Cloud for free while they're students. I like that you use Photoshop for this. Once again, it makes the assignment a bit easier. It makes this stuff look cleaner, but it's also a good way to do this assignment. Really add a lot of different elements in here. I'd like to see what you've done with this. Logan, this is probably my favorite design, is this spaceship with the twirl behind it. A lot of fun there, and I really like the creativity with the eggs. So let's check to see if let's pull the zip down, check that out. This is good. I really like the idea here of the two pigs checking out, the two contrasting pigs checking out the flower here. Really brings an extra amount of story into this design. We can make up all kinds of stories about these pigs. That's one of the reasons I like that picture. What happened to the... There we go. So once again, I'm going to emphasize that you all do this. This is great to see the different ideas that you work through as you go through your design process. This is just really great to see this. Oh, and then that's the final product here, but it's fun to see the different ideas that you work through with the sketches. So here we'll pop up. Oh, this is just the same thing that was turned in, but it's fun to see that this one, because we can zoom in a little bit, we can go full screen on this. But I like to see that the technique that you use where you cut these out, pasted these on. Once again, just another design process that you can go through, but I like what you've done with this and the process that you used. So cool. I like that you have done this by hand on paper. So this is a really great concept of this is the story that you're telling here. I really like this, that the lamp is illuminating underneath the umbrella and it's night outside. This is a great example. Once again, here's our isolation where we're using the tent to get isolated. And then this is really creative here where you've crashed the car into the pole, the placement. And I guess the person's running away maybe. So all of these are great because we can create a story for what's happening with this. And I mean, you could create a story between these three. If you put this one first, then you could say, oh, this person's running away. And as they're out, as they're out at night, they're using this lamp. So it's a fun thing to think about. Let's see if we've got that one on. Oh, let's pull this one down, check it out. Oh, that's just the same. So I like this here. Looks like you've used one of the digital tools to get this because you've copied these different things. I like how you've used the different elements here to make it look like the paintbrush is actually painting, which is a great show of the contrast. So that's it for this week. Everybody's done a great job on this, and I will post this for the class.